Hey guys, I'm Claire Gogan with the Gogan Real Estate team here in Naples, Florida, and I'm here to bring you Mastering Your CRM for a Six-Figure Life. And I truly believe that if you as a real estate agent can master your CRM, you will have the pathway to making six figures. I'm going to go through this webinar and talk about the biggest mistake agents make, where the most money lies, and I'm going to take you inside my database and show you exactly how my agents plug in every single day and just know exactly who to call and nobody slips through the cracks. So thank you for being here. I hope you get value out of this. And at the end, I'm going to encourage you to take action after you leave this call. So let's jump right in. Before we do that, I do want to introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Claire. I've been in this business about 12 years. And the reason I want to talk about this is it directly relates to the CRM. But I was a top producing agent at a local brokerage for a long time. And at the time, transparently, my method was basically get my contact information, put those people in my MLS, right? I would set them up on one of those auto emails, a search where they get emails. I'd put them in my MLS. I'd have a phone number, an email, and a name there in my MLS. And that was my database. That was where I had all of my contacts stored. I had no CRM. In addition to that, what I used to do is I had a whiteboard. And so I would write down the people that were my now business and then my 6-month plus business. And that was it. That was my method of tracking. And looking back, I know that I missed out on so many sales because of all the people that were stored in my MLS contacts that I forgot about. And so if this sounds like you, if your contacts are just being stored in some stagnant place, and you're keeping track of this in this way, you need a CRM today. It will blow up your business, okay? So let's jump into it. I'm going to show my slides here. Very good. Mastering your CRM for a six-figure life. Here we go. So why it's your secret weapon? Most agents fail not because they don't have enough leads. They all want to go buy more leads, buy more leads, buy more leads. You don't need more leads. You need proper follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up, okay? I want to share a story with you. Actually, it's from Ryan Serhant. If you've ever seen him speak, I'm sure he tells this at a lot of his talks, but he had somebody that he was following. He made contact with. I don't think they bought something or they did a rental or something like that. Followed up. He is an obsessive follow-up person. That is what he will tell you. That's where his business was built. So he followed up relentlessly. 5 years later, this person bought one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in Manhattan with Ryan. He never responded in those 5 years, never wrote back, never sent an email. And Ryan just kept calling and sending emails and sending texts and whatever. So the fortune is in the follow-up. It's whoever is there and relevant at the time that that person has a change in their life or whatever it is, that's the deciding factor for them to now purchase a property, okay, or sell or whatever. So the fortune is in the follow-up. Now, how do you do proper follow-up if you don't know when the last time is that you talked to that person? If we go back to me with that MLS book of a database, I have no idea when I last spoke to those people, and time flies. Sometimes we think, oh, I just talked to them 2 weeks ago. It's been 3 months, and now they bought with someone else who had better follow-up than you did, right? So your brain cannot keep track of all these people. You will naturally focus on the ones that are right in front of you because they're the ones consuming all of your time. And then one day you'll wake up in the middle of the night and forget or remember that, oh my gosh, I forgot Jane wanted to sell her house. And you go to call Jane and look in the MLS and her house is already listed and you missed out on that opportunity. So your CRM is your secret weapon and it's what's going to help you convert more business. All right. So again, not following up enough. It's the biggest mistake. You don't need more leads in most cases. You need proper follow-up. I want to talk about mindset here a little bit. I think the biggest mistake here is not following up enough, right? Yes, sometimes I'm talking about the fact that we don't know when our follow-up was, but we all get in our own head. I see it on my team. I've experienced it myself. You go to follow up and you think, I just talked to them. I'm probably bothering them. I have nothing to say. I don't know what, it's going to be awkward. So we skip that follow up and we do that over and over again, right? Or we follow up a couple times. We call and they don't call us back. They don't text us back. They don't email us back. And we immediately start to think, they don't want to work with me. I'm not good enough, right? They found somebody else, or I did something wrong. I must have followed up too much and now they think I'm too aggressive, right? So all of these things get in our head and makes it very difficult for us. Those get in your way. But the reality is that people have lives. Buying and selling their home, unless they're absolutely ready to do it tomorrow, and sometimes even then, it can feel very overwhelming. And a confused mind does nothing, right? A confused mind does nothing. So somebody that is feeling overwhelmed or this just isn't top priority, they're going to focus on all the other things in their lives. They have kids, they have sports, they have parents that they're taking care of, whatever it is, those things are taking priority. They're getting your messages. It's not priority right now. So they're not calling you back, right? So one of the things we have to make sure that we kind of help ourselves with and fill your mind with positive mindset things is that you get out of your own head, right? When I was at a local brokerage here, we had a new sales manager at the time, and he came in and told us about, he wanted to make this big purchase. I can't remember what it was, but he talked about how the salesperson called him like every month, left a message, and he never called him back. And it wasn't because he was annoying or anything like that, but he wasn't ready to make that purchase. So he said that he got his message every month. And more so, that salesperson was teaching him how he does business. So almost a year later, when he was ready to make that purchase, he was the first person he called or when he called, he answered, right? He answered, and yes, he was ready to do that transaction. But the whole year prior, it just wasn't something he was ready to do, but he was getting the messages. He was getting the messages and he was taking mental notes that this salesperson is professional. They follow up, they do what they say they're going to do, and they're there and ready when I'm ready. Okay. So that's the mindset we have to go into this with. Just continue to bring value on your follow-ups. And whether they respond to you or not, it doesn't matter. You just keep doing your follow-ups. Okay. Most agents will call 1 or 2 times before they let their mind get in their way. And then they don't follow up anymore. All right. So the 3-3-3 method is vital to your follow-ups, okay? Every touch should include a call, a text, and an email, all right? So when you're following up, we're going to talk about the cadence of follow-up in a little bit here, but when you're following up, you're going to call, hey, Sally, I was just following up with you. I want to make sure that the plan that we talked about is still the plan, that nothing in life has changed. By the way, just want to give you a quick update on rates right now and how things are looking in the market. Give me a shout when you get a chance. You have a few minutes to catch up. All right. I'm going to send a text with a similar thing. Hey, Sally, just touching base. Wanted to update you on the market. There's some interesting things happening, right? Your text and your email should always be a little bit of a carrot, right? Don't give all the information away. Give them a reason to call you back. Okay. And then you're going to send an email with a very similar thing. You're just going to say the same thing that you said in your text, but in an email. Some people like to read emails, some people like to read text, okay? And the 3-3-3 method is when you, either for a new lead or when you haven't talked to somebody in a long time, let's say now this is a follow-up, it's been 3 months, you haven't actually gotten them on the phone, you might do a 3-3-3, which means the 3 call, text, email for 3 days in a row, right? And you want to have some value to bring. Let's say this is a new lead and we're applying the 3-3-3, we might do a phone call. Had a great call, I'm going to send a text summary, I'm going to send an email. Day 2, I'm going to call, hey, Sally, I just want to touch base. Yesterday, I mentioned I would send you some things, some properties, some value, whatever, some information about our team. I just want to make sure you got those and they didn't go to spam. All right. They don't answer. I'm going to shoot a text that says something similar and I'm going to send an email. Day 3, I might call with some value. All right. Hey, I was out with some customers and I saw this property and it made me think of you because it was exactly what you were looking for. So give me a shout when you get a chance. Right. 3-3-3 for a new lead is going to be to solidify that relationship. Most agents' biggest issue here is they talk to somebody and then they don't talk to them for a month or two. That person has forgotten who you are. So you want to solidify that relationship and hopefully get an appointment out of it using that 333 method. If you remember nothing else from this slide, just remember that every touch you make, you should do a call, text, and an email. All right, let's talk about categorizing your leads. So you get a CRM, you have all your leads in there, right? We're not operating off our MLS anymore. We're going to take this seriously. We're going to build our pipeline. You need to categorize them. You don't give the same attention to somebody that's out shopping and looking for property to write an offer right now than you do somebody that's a year out, right? But you also can't forget about those people that are a year out. So our team does this, excuse me, blazing hot. We're out with them, we're shopping, they should be under contract in the next 2 weeks. A lead, 0 to 3 months, right? They're coming in town in a couple weeks. They are shopping. I can't forget about them, but that's an A lead. B is 3 to 6 months and C is 6 months plus. That is it. Those are the stages that we use. Everybody in our pipeline is one of those, aside from past client and sphere. Those are once a quarter because you still want to keep in touch with them. So categorization matters because, again, you're not going to call a C lead as much as you call an A lead, right? You have to, but the C lead can't be forgotten about. So most agents forget about those longer term nurtures. And again, the fortune is in the follow-up. So you are going to focus on those people that are right in front of you, but then you're also going to be touching base with those A leads to make sure that you can set them up so that once your blazing hots are under contract, you move to your A leads. Those A leads now become your blazing hots and so forth. Those B leads now become your A leads, right? So by doing that, you keep a consistent and full pipeline. Your CRM should tell you who to follow up with, when, and how. Agents on my team don't have to think about this. They log in, they click those, what we call smart lists, and the people that they need to follow up with are right there in front of them. Boom, they jump in and they follow up. Okay. It is vital to their success. When you are managing so much as a real estate agent, you cannot have to think before you call. If you have to think before you call, most of the time you're gonna think your way out of calling. Your mind is gonna get in your way. Your self-doubt is gonna get in your way. You're going to think too much about the person. You're going to get in there and think, oh, I know I said I should call every 3 weeks, but they're probably busy and I'll call them next time, right? And you're going to do that and you're going to let yourself get in your way. So you have to be able to just get in there and start calling the people that you're supposed to call. So this is where our smart lists come in. As I said, we come in, we click our smart list, and that's where they're at. So A leads every 2 to 3 days, no more than 7 is our policy on our team. B leads no more than 7 days. No more than 15 days, but weekly, but no more than 15 days. And then our C leads are no more than 30 days. So that's our cadence. Your blazing hots, there's no time period. That's an everyday thing. You're talking to those people every day because you're out showing property, you're working with them, we're getting them under contract. So our A's, once no more than 7, B no more than 15, and C no more than 30. Let's talk about new leads. Is that how we should treat new leads? Absolutely not. So new leads need at least 30 touches in the first 10 days to get them on the phone. If you're buying leads, I can guarantee you that lead that landed in your database landed in about 10 others as well. Right? They're on 10 other websites. They're on Zillow. They're on Realtor.com. They're on other local people's websites. So you are not the only one getting that lead. And so in those first 10 days, you have to be relentless in trying to get a hold of them. On our team, we have a policy there on our new leads get about 30 calls in the first week to make sure we get them on the phone. Call, text, email daily, but that first day I would encourage you to call several times in the morning and then call after 5 as well. After that, you can taper down, but your goal is to get them on the phone and then stage them. So you get them on the phone. Hey, Sally, looks like you were checking out our website. Just wanted to get an idea of if you found something or if you're still looking, right? Great. You're looking, you're going to be here in March. Okay. That sounds great. That's an A lead, right? Or even a blazing hot. And I'm going to try to set an appointment. Statistics say that if you can get a face-to-face with your new customers, they are significantly more likely to work with you. So our team has a policy that we always try and get a face-to-face, whether that be a buyer consultation, a first showing. That is your opportunity to build rapport, to meet them, to have an influential conversation with them, and to have them work with you. And hopefully in these days, get a BBA signed, right? Regardless of if they're a couple months out. So I want to take you inside my database. Again, our team has this all set up for them. They come in, they pull up their smart lists, and they know who to call that day. Of course, they always have access to new leads, but once those leads are converted and put into their database, that is now their pipeline to follow up. Those are their sales, and this is how we get agents to sell 2 homes a month, okay, or more. So let me stop this. I'm going to share my screen here so I can take you inside our database. So this is what we use. We use Follow Up Boss. It's a super user-friendly CRM, but it doesn't matter what you use. Don't get overwhelmed by that. Use what you have available. If you're a brokerage and they offer something, use it. EXP offers KB Core. It's a phenomenal program for single agents because it also has lead generation capabilities. Our team has Follow Up Boss, and then we use other technology for lead generation that all plugs into Follow Up Boss. So this is our favorite one, super user friendly, but this is how we operate. So you come in, you've got your database. We keep track of all of our communication in here. So inbox has your text, your calls, your emails, everything's in here. You can set tasks, calendar. We have a deals tab that's really neat. That'll be for a separate training. Our agents can actually see their pipeline, their customers, about what price point they're going to buy and what that results in commission for them. So they can, in one snapshot, see what their pipeline looks like. We have some reporting and such. But for this purpose, so you come in, blazing hot. These are my people. I'm out showing property. So it's 8 o'clock or so in the morning. I'm going to come in, I'm going to look, boom. This is who I'm going to touch today. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to check on them. My active and pending clients are people that are under contract or listings that I have, right? Which, by the way, these type of people, these are people that I'm going to follow up with around 10 or 11. They're not my most important. My most important in the morning is converting new business. I need more appointments. That's always your focus as a real estate agent in your prospecting session. Okay. So my A leads, these are the ones, last communication more than 7 days. If I have not tried to communicate with this person in at least more than a week, they're going to show up here. So immediately I pop in, I say, yep, this person's due for a call. I'm going to come in here. I can call. We can call straight from our database. We can send a text and we can send an email, right? All that communication is going to show up in this log. So very simple, very easy to track. I can leave notes in here. Last time I talked to Sally, she told me that her granddaughter was in the hospital and she's putting things on hold. So guess what? Next time I call, I can say, hey, Sally, how's your granddaughter doing? Is everything, how's she doing? Is she home? That makes people feel like people and not just like transactions. And if we go back to the Claire that was working out of the MLS and just had everybody's contact information, I didn't have any of that. I was working all off my memory, which I don't know about you guys, but that you can't remember everything. Even if you're young and you have a great mind, you're going to forget things, right? So put those things down, put kids' names, put pets' names, put important things from your conversation about what they're looking for, right? They don't want stairs. They want an upstairs unit only, or that was backwards. They want a downstairs unit only, right? Put all that in here. It shows up. Your B leads. These are people, these are our further out people, but I'm going to follow up with them. And then my C leads. Okay. Of course, we've got new lead ponds as well. So we get our new leads. So our agents will call those. Typically, they're calling new leads first, and then they're doing all their follow-up, right? So they might spend an hour calling new because they want to continue to add new business to their database. they get somebody on the phone, they stage them, they're now added to their pipeline here. So it's a very simple process. You don't have to think too much. You log in, you make your calls, it keeps you on your follow-up schedule, and that's it. Our database has a ton of technology as well. We retarget people with ads. I send newsletters to our database. There's so many things that you should be doing to then nurture that database in your CRM. And if that sounds really overwhelming for you, I would encourage you to think about a team. Let me stop this share. That's the whole point of our real estate team, right? Not only do we provide leads, but we take care of all the things that real estate agents should be doing, but don't get a chance to do. There's another smart list in there that's past client and sphere, right? Those are quarterly. You click a button, there's all your past client and sphere that you haven't talked to in at least 3 months. So once a month or so, maybe you touch that list, right? We also do quarterly events, or we do client events on our team. So those are great opportunities to call that sphere list and have a conversation about our client event that they're invited to, right? So we handle all the sides of the business that, again, a single agent cannot possibly do on their own without a staff supporting them. So I'm a firm believer that when you get to a certain level of production, you either need to join your team or start a team, right? Starting a team might just be you and a full-time assistant and maybe an agent or two helping you, right? That's a team. And you want to cover all of that overhead and all of those expenses, great. Another option is you plug into a team, you have no overhead, no expenses, and you get access to all the things that we have as a team. So whatever you do, doesn't matter, just it's so important to have all these things in place to be able to get to that 6-figure net income, right? I'm real particular about that too, right? So many agents make a lot of money, but don't track their expenses. Like, what are you taking home at the end of the day? That's what's important, right? That's what helps us live our lives. I want you to build a 6-figure net income. All right, let's get back to the presentation. I think we're just about done here. So, recap and next steps. Your biggest takeaway should be that the fortune is in the follow-up. If you are not following up with the leads in your database, you are missing significant opportunity. If you are only working new leads and you're not following up with people that came in a year ago, if you work any kind of Google lead, the average conversion for those type of leads is 6 months to a year. So anything you have in your database that's older than 6 months is gold right now. Those are the people who started looking kind of over the summer or in the fall or whenever, and that are now here and ready to shop. So those could be your sales. Action step. There's no point in showing up here if you don't take action, right? I will not have helped you in any way if you don't leave here without taking a step forward. So I encourage you, go get a CRM. If you don't have one, go get one. Doesn't matter what kind. Email me. I'll send you a couple ideas, or like I said, follow up boss, KV Core. Go get a CRM, put all of your database in there, and start operating out of your CRM every single day. You should be logging in every single day. And I know what a lot of you guys are saying, Claire, I'm so busy. I have no time for that. I can't do that. You don't have time not to do this. What would you do with an extra 10 sales this year, right? That is what a CRM can do for you if you use it properly. So take time to build your business. And that is how you will build a not only 6-figure business, but a predictable business. Have a CRM and use it at a high level. I'm excited thank you guys for showing up today. I appreciate you. I'm going to send out this replay. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. And I look forward to bringing you more topics on how to build a 6-figure life.